me, so you'll have to forgive me if my sermon doesn't match the great faith. Sorry, I finished that jelly. So, on my notes here it says Big Kids Message. And I only say that half jesting because my gospel message today, we have some broken barriers, or breaking barriers, I should say. We have Jesus, and here he is trying to break down the social norms. First off, we have a Canaanite woman asking Jesus for help. Then we have Jesus engaging with the Canaanite woman. He's actually conversing with her. And finally, we actually have Jesus helping a Canaanite woman. First, I want to look at this Canaanite woman. To start with, she's a Canaanite, not a Jew. And Canaanites and Jews don't get along. Haven't since the days of Noah. If you want to read that, it comes shortly after the flood. The Canaanites get the enmity of all of the family of Noah. And so we have this Canaanite woman who's the enemy of Israel. And actually, if you look at Exodus, then God commands Israel to destroy everyone of Canaan. No one shall survive. They, of course, didn't listen, but that's beside the point. But it leads us to our gospel lesson, where we have a Canaanite woman asking Jesus for help. A desperate woman who would do anything for her daughter, even go to a mortal enemy and ask him for help. A mortal enemy. Jesus, a mortal enemy, just because of his heritage. Sorry, I have to take a long pause here because I have to gather my thoughts because I left my notes and that always causes problems. But now I'm back to Jesus, and he continues with what he's doing, even though he's got this woman shouting at him. And I don't know exactly how it went down, but I imagine it's much more impassioned than just have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is tormented by a demon. I have a feeling she's a very impassioned woman. After all, many of you out here have children. I fortunately have not had that honor yet. I'm still a kid myself, at least I like to think I am. And I'm not ready to have my own child. But I imagine that those of you that are parents can relate to this woman, doing anything she can for her child. And we have Jesus continuing with what he's doing, almost as though she doesn't exist. And so she makes herself a nuisance, such a nuisance that the disciples want her cast away. But Jesus doesn't do that. He's got no business helping this woman. He doesn't even have any business hearing her out. But that's what he does. He steps up and engages. He starts out and uses the opportunity to teach a lesson. If we go back to the Old Testament lesson, we see there that God says, I will gather the remnants of my people, and I will add to them others who have not yet been called. And so Jesus is taking this opportunity to open that text up. He's giving help to a woman who has no right asking him for help. He's listening. He's hearing out a woman who has no right talking to him. He's opening it up. He's making her the first from outside the fold to be welcomed in. And ultimately, we see Jesus healing. He doesn't cast her away. He engages. He comes forward. and he talks to her. It's kind of a neat little interplay here. Because he essentially calls her a dog. Why would I help you? Why would I give food for my people to a dog? And she turns it back on her. Yeah, that's true. But even the dogs eat from the master's table. And so Jesus uses that opportunity. When she turns that back on, when she takes what should be an insult and turns it into a moment of faith, turns it into a time when somebody sees Jesus for who he is, for what he is, then Jesus can use this as his teaching moment and heal her daughter. Let's talk about that for a minute. Jesus heals her daughter. Something that I certainly couldn't do. Something that I doubt any of you could do. And Jesus does it without seeing her, without knowing even where she is. All he knows is that this Canaanite woman has a daughter that is in need of healing. Great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish. And her daughter was healed. If you actually go into the Gospel of Mark, the story is expounded upon a little bit. And the woman goes back and the daughter is sitting up and asking for something to eat, something she hadn't done for quite some time. And so, on faith, she goes to Jesus. On faith, she begs him. She asks for something she knows she doesn't deserve. And Jesus does it for her. So, great faith. Perhaps it's something we all need a little more. Perhaps it's something we should all be striving to come to somebody that we have no business coming to and asking for help.